Most people know Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi, Givenchy, Tiffany, but few know the man who owns them all. He's not a designer. He's not an artist. He's a ruthless businessman who turned luxury into the most profitable industry on earth. And for years, he's battled Elon Musk for the title of richest person alive. The engineer who became a fashion king. Bernard Jean-Etienne Arnault was born on March 5, 1949, in Roubaix, France. Today, at 75 years old, he's worth over $200 billion and controls LVMH, the largest luxury goods conglomerate on the planet. But Bernard didn't start in fashion. He started in construction. His father owned a civil engineering company called Ferret Savinel. Bernard grew up watching his father build buildings, not brands. He studied engineering at École Polytechnique, one of France's most prestigious schools. He graduated with honors and joined his father's company in 1971. By the late 1970s, Bernard had taken over his father's company and expanded it into real estate development. He was making money, but he wasn't satisfied. He wanted something bigger. In 1984, Bernard made the move that changed his life. He acquired Financière Agache, a luxury goods company that owned Christian Dior. He was 35 years old. He had no fashion experience, but he saw opportunity. Bernard later explained his thinking. Luxury is not about the product. It's about desire. And desire is timeless. The hostile takeover that built an empire owning Christian Dior was just the beginning. Bernard had a much bigger plan. In 1987, he launched the hostile takeover of LVMH, a newly merged company that combined Louis Vuitton and Moët Hennessy. LVMH was struggling. The merger hadn't worked well. Management was fighting. The company was undervalued. Bernard saw weakness, and he attacked. By 1989, Bernard controlled LVMH. He became chairman and CEO. He was 40 years old. The fashion world was shocked. Who was this outsider who just took over two of France's most iconic brands? Bernard didn't care what they thought. He had a plan: buy the best luxury brands in the world and turn them into profit machines, building the luxury monopoly. Over the next 3 decades, Bernard went on a buying spree. He acquired brand after brand, building the largest luxury conglomerate in history. He bought Givenchy, Fendi, Celine, Marc Jacobs, Loro Piana, Bulgari, TAG Heuer, Hublot, Sephora, and dozens more. In 2019, he made his biggest move yet. He bought Tiffany & Co. for $15.28 billion. It was the largest luxury acquisition in history. Today, LVMH owns over 75 luxury brands across fashion, jewelry, watches, wine, spirits, cosmetics, and retail. The empire generates over $80 billion in annual revenue. It operates in every corner of the globe. Bernard's strategy is simple: own the best, charge premium prices, control distribution, and never discount. This strategy has made LVMH the most valuable luxury company on earth, worth over $400 billion at its peak. The ruthless businessman. Behind the beauty, Bernard Arnault is famous for being brilliant, strategic, and absolutely ruthless. He fires executives without hesitation. He demands perfection. He tolerates no excuses. A former LVMH manager said, "Working for Bernard is terrifying. He's incredibly smart and expects everyone else to be too. If you fail, you're gone." Bernard himself once said, "I'm not in business to make friends. I'm in business to win." He's known for pitting executives against each other to see who performs best. He creates internal competition to drive results. But Bernard isn't just ruthless with people. He's ruthless with brands too. When he buys a brand, he cuts costs, fires underperformers, and restructures everything. If a brand doesn't perform, he kills it or sells it. A former creative director said, "Bernard cares about art and beauty, but only if it makes money. If it doesn't sell, it's gone." That's the rule. This approach has made Bernard enemies. Designers have quit. Employees have complained. Critics have called him cold and calculating. But Bernard doesn't apologize. He once said, "Sentimentality is expensive. Business is about results." The richest man in the world. In 2021, Bernard Arnault briefly became the richest person on earth, surpassing Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. His net worth hit $200 billion. For months, he and Elon Musk traded the top spot back and forth. A wealth tracker explained, Bernard's fortune is tied to LVMH stock. When luxury sales boom, he gets richer. When they slow, he drops. But he's always near the top. What makes Bernard different from other billionaires? He built his wealth through luxury, not technology. While tech billionaires create apps and platforms, Bernard sells handbags and champagne. And somehow, he's just as rich. A business professor said, Bernard proved that old industries can be just as profitable as new ones. Luxury never goes out of style. People will always pay for status. Bernard's wealth isn't just his. He's built a family dynasty. His 5 children all work in LVMH or related businesses. His daughter Delphine runs Dior. His son Antoine oversees image and communications. His other children hold key positions. A family business expert said, Bernard is building a legacy. He's training the next generation to run LVMH after he's gone. This empire will last for decades. The man behind the billions. Despite his massive wealth, Bernard Arnault is intensely private and disciplined. He wakes up early. He reads newspapers. He works long hours. He's obsessed with details. A close associate said, Bernard reads every report. He knows every number. He's involved in every major decision. He's 75 and still works like he's 40. Bernard is married to Hélène Mercier, a Canadian pianist. They live in Paris but own homes around the world. A journalist who interviewed him said, Bernard is polite but cold. He answers questions carefully. He never reveals too much. He's always in control. Bernard rarely gives interviews. He avoids social media. He lets his brand speak for him. The controversies and criticisms Bernard's empire hasn't been without controversy. Critics accuse LVMH of promoting materialism and excess. Environmental activists attack luxury brands for waste and pollution. Bernard has faced tax investigations in France. He's been accused of using loopholes to avoid paying his fair share. In 2012, he tried to move to Belgium to avoid French taxes. The public backlash was fierce. He eventually abandoned the plan. A French politician said at the time, Bernard makes billions in France but doesn't want to pay French taxes. That's unacceptable. Bernard defended himself, I follow the law. If the law allows tax planning, that's not my fault. Blame the government, not me. LVMH has also faced criticism for its environmental impact. Luxury production uses resources, creates waste, and contributes to pollution. In response, Bernard has committed LVMH to sustainability goals. An environmental advocate said, LVMH is making progress, but luxury and sustainability are fundamentally at odds. Real change requires rethinking the entire industry. The future of the empire. At 75, Bernard Arnault shows no signs of retiring. He still runs LVMH. He still makes major decisions. He's still building. But succession is coming. The question is, who will take over? Bernard has 5 children, and they're all being groomed for leadership. But Bernard hasn't officially named a successor. A corporate governance expert said, Bernard is preparing his children, but he's not ready to let go. He loves the power. He loves the game. He'll stay as long as he can. Some analysts believe Delphine, his daughter, is the frontrunner. Others think it will be a collective leadership among all the children. For now, Bernard remains firmly in control, the emperor who built his kingdom. Bernard Arnault proved that luxury is the ultimate business. That desire is more profitable than innovation. That controlling the best brands in the world can make you the richest person alive. He's not beloved. He's not warm. He's not humble. But he's undeniably successful. From a construction engineer to the richest man on earth. From one brand to 75. from France to global dominance. That's the story of Bernard Arnault, the luxury emperor who turned beauty into billions and fashion into power. If you enjoyed discovering how Bernard Arnault built his 200 billion luxury empire, let us know who we should profile next. The world's wealthiest people control industries you use every day, and we're revealing how they did it.